The designers probably wanted you to find this after the game, but I've run all the way back to Neverwinter after unlocking the final area by following Sasani back to Samurok. And you can ask Akila about, have you completed your analysis of the data from the Nexi? And he says there are portals. So you can tell him you will investigate. Walking all the way back to Samurok, you can see a foreign temple marked on the map. That's our destination. The northern side of Samurok is a little bit different than the southern side as far as the level of the enemies you will encounter here. That was a level 17 Megaraptor. They're quite good if you want XP, and I will probably actually intentionally fight a few of them just to make sure that I get to character level 17 so that I get my last level of spells. That'll probably be the highest level that I will get in the game. You come across this destroy. A lot of the areas up here don't have an inside. They're just places on the map, and you can search them. I'm going to go past the foreign temple to just clear out this eastern side of the map because there's one thing down here that I want to get. Here's this mine. You've probably noticed I've cast a few more buffs than usual. You can talk to these miners and they'll just be gruff to you, so let's just kill them. There are some spellcasters there that I killed early in the fight, but that can actually be sort of a dangerous fight if they get Holy Word off, because you'll all be stunned. The reason I came to this area is that this chest here has a couple of gems in it, including a bell drill, which I need for my headband of intellect. I may not actually be able to make it by the end of the game, but there's not that many bell drill in the game, and that's one of them. One of them also had a flail +3, which is a decent weapon to further enchant, but we'll be getting the +3 base enchantment bonus soon enough, so it's really kind of irrelevant. One other substantial difference with the northern part of this area is the enemies have very good spot skill, so you will routinely be fighting the random enemies on the map, even though I'm wearing +10 to hide skill and +5 to move silently in items, and have maximized skills. I'm still going to have to fight a lot. There's another unmarked map location here, this ruin, and unless you have high enough lore skill, you can't read it, and if you can read it, it doesn't say anything important. For this area, there's only one enemy here, but you have to make sure that you don't get stuck with him in the doorway here. Once you knock him down, he falls down, and like a troll, doesn't die until you do the right thing. In this case, just walk past him. And we're going to have to walk the entire party through that portal. Whoever you send through first, make sure they're immune to Bigby's forceful hand, because otherwise they're just going to get hit by it and get splattered by the enemies over here. And we're through. Looking at the map where we show up, it's quite clear we are not in Samarak anymore. We're back on the Sword Coast. Remember that cave that said Hotenow Cave that we couldn't get to before? Well, this is how you get to it. Just resting up. Hopefully we're not close enough to New Leaf to get one of my caravans intercepted. Not that I really care at this point, because I've got more than enough money for what I've got left to do in the game. You could kind of fool around post-game if you're going to export the character and play another campaign with it, but we're kind of getting to the end here. Inside the cave are a bunch of fire giants, and King Karag. And, you know, you can talk to him, and he will grant you freedom to leave. Well, we don't really want to leave, we want to kill him. Unfortunately, a lot of my better attack spells are fire spells. And how quickly they fall. The main thing to do here, though, are these giant craft tomes, which include AC bonus +4, weapon enhancement +3, and some other stuff that I'll pick up because it's here. And there's a halberd I can't even identify. We'll use the wand. And it's just a +3. So there are a lot of +3 weapons. I'll clean up and meet you back out on the map. Other than the recipes, there are just 2 +3 weapons. This Breath of the Maiden, which is just does constitution damage, but it's such a low DC, it's never going to work. And these Boots of the Mountain King, which give freedom of movement and cast Stone Skin once a day. So, mostly the important thing is the recipes, but there's some other stuff. Probably not worth it to come back to hand in this quest, since I have to go all the way back to Neverwinter. And all I get for it is 1600 XP. Would have been faster to just kill a couple of dinosaurs. I had to come back to town anyways to re-enchant my gear and essentially put +4s and +3s on everything, so I'll do that now off-screen. After that very long detour, involving multiple trips back and forth from the Sword Coast, let's get back to exploring northern Samarak. There's an abandoned camp here with nothing. There's actually a couple areas in northern Samarak that don't actually do anything. If you look at the map, you can see where the final dungeon is, that Temple of the World Serpent. You can't go directly there, there are some hills in the way, but it's fairly easy. There are a few areas around here, none of which are particularly thrilling, like this here Yuan-Ti Temple, which I guess I'll clear it out. We've buffed up and are ready to go. But instead of Yuan-Ti in this Yuan-Ti temple, all there are demons, or devils. I can't remember which it is, frankly. I'm not very good with telling them apart. And we're all using non-special weapons. Well, actually, most of us are using adamantine arrows, but their damage resistance is definitely going to be in effect. Fortunately, we have so much damage bonuses, so many varieties, that the chance that something isn't getting through is fairly low. This Horn Devil here is fairly resistant to just about everything, unfortunately. So I am going to use some magic on it. That's recitation. Lesser Missile Storm. And down it goes. There's a chest here with another Beldrill, which is nice, but ultimately kind of irrelevant. We're not going to be able to use um, the Craft Wondrous Item feat anymore because we'd have to go back to town, and frankly, I've got enough gear to get through the end of the game. Adventuring on here, there are other ruins in the jungle, by the way, and most of them are not areas. Most of them are just, no different than trees. They're just background. There's this barrow here, and I'll clear that out, and that'll probably be the last thing for this episode, but we can finish it. And there isn't really much in here but these 4 ogre mages. They go down quickly. There's a trapped sarcophagus over here with some crappy weapons in it, and that's pretty much it for this area. And also the end of this episode. So, next time we will go into the optional end dungeon.